Well, alrighty. That guy was verbose, as it turned out. Shouldn't be too surprised. Old dude with a past. Doesn't have a lot going on these days. We can chat for an eternity. How about you, by the way?
Oh, I have really outdone myself. This is divine.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat ass of yours. I hope your heart gives out.
René, it's the little pleasures. Life doesn't need to be a struggle. Oh, hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day?
Tell me, do you know anything about the dead man? Let me think. He looks at the clouds wistfully. I heard someone was hanged and left in on a tree for a week, but that's all I know, really. Come on, you must have heard something. No, officers, I'm sorry, and I really would like to assist, he adds, smiling apologetically. You are both good guys, I can see that. Then help them, you wimp. Reproach fills his eyes. You rub plenty of shoulders with that gauche caviar at the Union. Someone must know something. He means caviar socialists. I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. His cheeks turn red. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows and respects that. Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying, but there's something off here. Sounds a bit like you're holding back. I'm not, he assures you. I'm not even Of course he's holding back. The carabiner crosses his arms. His mouth is so full of Union prick he couldn't even speak properly. Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? His eyes are furious. I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Everard. How do you know Everard? Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers, he says solemnly. I taught these boys human studies and history in the gymnasium. What do you know about history? The carabiner snaps at Gaston. You never witnessed history, only heard about it years later when it had already moved on. You don't even know history. The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns to face the sea. There he stands, proud, rigid, and alone, like a cracking marble statue. Let's try not to get caught in the lieutenant lowers his voice. Crossfire. Are you a Union member? Oop. Oh, breakthrough coming in. Oh. His cheeks turn red again. In many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties. Help with little things. Everard, Edgar, and the older debuteurs all know me. In many ways? Oh, yes. So you're not an actual member? Not in the technical sense. His eyes fix on the bulls in the crater. I don't have a vote or membership card, but Everard keeps me on payroll, just for the little things. So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He tries to make it look like he's a big deal in the Union, and now the illusion is disintegrating before your and René's eyes. He doesn't know anything, because no one tells him anything. He's an outsider. Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. He frowns. He's a weatherman, turns to where the wind blows and tries to look important. I hate the socialist rabble, he continues. But even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence, never committing to anything. Pick a damn side already. What are the little things you do, Everard? Writing work mostly. He smiles. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words, people say. What kind of things do you write for him? Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers about Martinez and how things are and how they could be. Everard and I have these long talks where he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself. Are you a caviar socialist? The old man starts laughing. I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics are not really something I involve myself in, officer. Wait, how can you write those newspaper pieces if you're not political? Officer, I have a vivid imagination. He laughs again. And like I said, I have a way with words. That's enough. No need to sink into politics. He just fluffs it up. Of course. Don't sink into anything. Don't sink into any fight. Only sink into your couch. So you are a weather vane? I prefer highly adaptable myself, he chuckles merrily. Has a better ring to it, don't you think? Mon Dieu. The carabiner closes his eyes, like he's never going to open them again. Thanks, that's all for now. No, thank you. He nods, smiling wide. For being a consummate professionals, you'll have this case wrapped up in no time. You mentioned Jean-Marie Beaulieu. Who is that? Oh, sweet Jeanne. Jeannie? I don't know. I'm so out of my depth with these pronunciations and the idea of even trying to do anything vaguely like a French accent for either of these characters. He gets a dreamy look in his eyes. She was the finest woman in all of Revachol, maybe the entire world. Do not defile her memory, Gaston. There's an almost imperceptibly small tremble in his voice. Let her rest in peace. So you both know her? We knew her all right. His friendly face lights up. Lived on the same street our entire lives, just 2 houses apart. The 3 of us had been best friends since we were 4. Have been. Is she still around? She was Renee's first girlfriend. Back when the prick was 16. He looks at the carabiner almost gently. They were courting till he decided he'd rather die for some great ideal than just be happy. And then you stole her from me. He jerks forward, then grabs his chest and stops. These people still hang out? Do not intervene. Well, technically you stole her from me, because we've been pretty close ever since you two had that falling out over the ink you spilled over her pretty yellow dress. We were just boys then. This was different. You. The tall veteran looks at you and nods. No point starting this all over again for the 1,001st time. Especially when we have company. He turns to you. Officer? What happened to her? She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. It was a quiet passage, peaceful. He smiles faintly. Renee and I were both by her bedside when she... He pauses, searching for the right word. Died. He sharply fills the silence and adds, No use sugarcoating it. Won't bring her back, will it now? Departed. His partner finishes his sentence, then chuckles. Until the very end, she couldn't decide between us. The most indecisive woman I've ever met. Why do you think she was indecisive? She could never make up her mind about anything. What to have for breakfast, favorite color, which of us to marry. The look in his eyes is happy and distant. She was always leaving one of us for the other, but never long enough to actually get married. That's a bit odd. Heck, he says with a chuckle. Technically, we're both still engaged to her. You always confused her. Couldn't let us be happy. He says with heavy resentment. Seduced her with your fancy words and pastries. He suddenly remembers you are still there, falls silent, and turns away. Seems like they're both equally distant. I mean, equally responsible, I mean, if she kept going back and forth. Thanks for sharing. Of course, officer, he says with a smile. Memories are all we have left. I'm not gonna ask him for the sandwich, it's weird. Bye for now. Oh, they're nice. What new item? I don't know what new item it's telling me I have. It just keeps saying there's a new one, but it doesn't highlight the item, as far as I can tell. Maybe it's in my ledger or something. New skill point. Just in time, huh? Oh right, I have to click on my brain. Guillaume Le Million. Wow. Many distressing elements of this image. This person's back is cut open. This person is like that Junji Ito comic where they have a bunch of heads kind of stacked on top of each other. Segmented. And this person seems to have a horn sticking out of their butthole that's spewing their shit on their back. Which is like, what is this? I like kind of equal parts want to get a full-size poster of this art and also never want to look at it ever again. Not just this part, the entire poster, I mean. Bad news. Guillaume Le Million did not become a cop. In 1938, he went on a tour to the Signal province in Sèvres, where he died of autoerotic asphyxiation. His body was found hanging from a decorative dragon tree in his junior suite, amid drug paraphernalia, unwholesome objects, and the Sylvia Traynor single Wonderland skipping in the background. And yes, you can take this as a metaphor for Revachol in the 30s, and also as a warning. Plus one pain threshold. Blood oxygen's boring. All psi learning caps increased by 1. I'm always curious about these. Actual art degree. -1 perception. Can't even look at this shit. Yeah, we read this before. We'll see how it goes. You learn as you go. Once I fill it up, then new thoughts will be replacing the ones I think are the worst ones, probably. I'll check through to see what the shittiest ones are, or ones that are least relevant to what I'm doing, or where I'm going with this. I find this to be a really interesting system here. It'd be potentially gimping, but the game doesn't necessarily even have a level curve, because it doesn't have combat. So technically I can potentially get away with doing this, not optimizing my character, or maybe even not leveling at all. Enormous bulls, worthy of a real man. The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting. The lieutenant looks down the street. We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go. You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsunagi's gone. Thanks, tutorial agent. You're so helpful. Where'd this guy come from? I work hard, I play hard. Nobody works harder. He's not a dialogue person. Not in the normal sense. On some level, it's almost a godsend, because every single NPC I encounter might be a 1-hour commitment or more. Plastic wrapped macaronis stamped with humanitarian aid. Huh. This says food gift from the people of Messina. A helpline to the company that controls the drawbridge. Hot air rises from the sewer, sour, acrid, and strangely comforting. Humanitarian aid tuna fish, not for resale. Has my character eaten today? Speakers from the people of Samara. Styling. You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The name Sealang is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
He gives you a thumbs up. What's so cool?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer.
From out of the bay, a cool wind gathers. It sweeps into the city, tugging at the textiles hanging around the stand. Some distance away, the sound of a tin can clattering across the street can be heard.
You're very cool.
He makes both hands into finger pistols and fires a few finger bullets into the air. You feel a twitch in your index fingers. There's a finger shootout a-brewin'. Fa-boom!
Don't shoot, officer. Have we got an arrest here, or just a shakedown?
The shakedown.
Good one, officer. You're a funny guy. Now, what can I do for you?
He nods towards his shabby wares. I feel like an idiot. That was stupid. This isn't a joke. Give me your money. I need money. Just kidding. I'm really here to shake you down for some answers to official police questions.
Then fire away, officer.
What? Did I... Oh god. Finger guns is a thought. Finger pistols 9mm. -2 savoir-faire. Snapping doesn't help. Takes only 1 hour to think about your finger pistols. You were promised a gun. That much is certain. This is why you became a cop. Yet here you are, lording around with idle hands like some sort of sorry-ass loser from the street. Suddenly, you're supposed to be solving cases by what? Like, talking to people? How are they going to believe that you can protect yourself and them from savages without a firearm? This ain't right. You need to think around this problem, and you need to snap your fingers at people as you do. Why? I have a decent chance of begging for money, but I mostly haven't been doing that. He settles back into a pile of boxes he's sitting on, getting comfortable. What kind of stuff you selling here? Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants too. Try them on here, no shame, only freedom. Where'd you get those comfy pants? I'm an entrepreneur, officer. He begins counting on his fingers. I've got sources, buyers, suppliers, distributors, manufacturers, wholesalers, all extremely cool and above board. You have a permit to sell all that? Good joke, officer. Here we don't have permits, just economic freedom. Take a look around. He takes a deep breath. You glance around the decrepit buildings, the miserable weather, the sidewalks strewn with sunflower seeds and dust-choked air. It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom. Kim, is that true? He doesn't need a permit to sell? It is, yes. Anyone can set up their shop whenever they feel like it. That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city and its law officials are so cool. Okay, no permit then. Cool. Hyper cool. He nods solemnly, then breathes out a sigh of pride, surveying the city around him. Is there a discount for cool officers like me? No need for discounts at Silings, officer. Everything's already on sale. He nods towards the crates. Anything you want, 50% off. But did he first mark them up 100% so that he could put them on sale? Are those things really on sale, or do you just jack up the prices first? My man, you know how the game is played. You and me, we should work together. What do you think? Shake things up. He winks. That's all then. Let me ask you about something else. Anything for you. He smiles again. The food packages you're selling have humanitarian aid written on them. How come? You mean these delicious prepackaged shelf-stable meal kits? Really easy to cook, no hassle, really cheap too. Buy some, try them out. No hassle. There's a little of a hassle here, it appears. A moral hassle. Doesn't that beat the idea of humanitarian aid? It's supposed to be free. That's what makes it humanitarian. That is practically free. Yours for 5 cents a piece. Rock that tuna. Why not some macaroni too? I think one said not for resale on the packaging. No problem here, officer. I get all this from one of my suppliers, an extremely reputable guy. Wait. Humanox. Humanitarian aid. Does your supplier drive that Humanox lorry over there? Point at the lorry with the big Humanox sign on it. What? The street vendor looks over his shoulder and stares at the lorry as though he's never seen the lorry in his entire life. A convincing performance. Bravo. Look, officer, I'm just a retailer. You'd have to talk to my supplier if you got any questions about the supply chain. That's how the game works. Interesting. The lieutenant whips out his blue notebook and makes a note. Where are you from, Sealang? Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now, all Revachol. This man probably came from Seagay, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, a archipelago on the Samaran Isla. Sounds good. Let's get back to business. Better not to mention. It's just weird to be like, you're not a local though, right? Just a weird tangent. Creepy even. I'll look around, thanks. Did I get a quest from that? No. This is just me, the game telling me that something's new. Click, 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 click. Click, 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 click. Click, 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 click. Click, 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 click. Can you stop now? I don't think that resulted in a quest, did it? So investigating the stolen humanitarian aid doesn't seem to be relevant to them, necessarily. There are clothes inside. Cheap secondhand clothes smelling of strangers' body odors.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
Save the economy? That sounds off. Save the economy? What are you talking about? Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash. Keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco. This doesn't make any sense. Why exactly does the economy need saving? Look around, officer. You see all these premium goods just sitting there not getting bought? We've got to keep the flow of goods moving. Is this really the economy we want to leave to our children? But I don't have children, I think. You're right, we have to save mother economy. Just nature. Powerful economies expand, weak economies go extinct. This economy is really just a distraction from the cultural issues, you know, immigrants and... Oh, Jesus. Look, man, I just want to buy some clothes. But I don't have children, I think. Too bad, officer. Kids make it all worthwhile. Without kids, who's going to be around to enjoy the economy? He points at the clothes. Don't let me stop you. Open the box and browse a little. You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places. This box smells like cat piss, or like an old person with no money. Wow, it's really specific. Economical, but also trendy. The street vendor shouts. Look firsthand, buy secondhand. Keep the economy moving. He's just saying words, basically. Find something worth salvaging from this pile of rags? I'm really good at composure. Something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek. A windbreaker. Surf, it says, but also wind, summer, 100% waterproof, and sport, all in different typefaces. Practical, and yet it may deaden your senses to the world around you. Possibly because of the awful typeface. Good choice, officer. Mega sporty, and it's only $4.50 for you, sir. More composure, reduced shivers. Composure even a good stat for me? Where is it? Honestly, they're both 6s, and I kind of like it that way. Yeah. I don't feel a need to shake those up. Shivers has been like a weird breakout stat for me that came out of nowhere, and has been kind of interesting. Fallen sneakers on a pedestal of speakers. I did read that correctly. I wasn't sure. I'm like, sneakers on speakers. I had to do a double take. You see two lowly, defeated speakers. Thralls. Slaves, basically. Perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of fallen, durable wear sneakers. Ultra series.
I can see you have a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
Inspect the sneakers. A pair of fallen ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper, and a silver-lined midsole. Those sneakers, mister. The street vendor intones. Those sneakers are the latest fallen sneakers. Super rare, super fine, super cool. Only 50 real. Fuck. Only, that's madness. Fallen Ultra. Wear the future. You remember the slogan from some magazine. 50. Oh no, it turns off my brain a little bit. But +1 to reaction speed and hand-eye coordination. At this point, it always seems like a premium item when I get +2 stats and only -1 stat, because so often it's -1 +1. Just a reshuffling of my stats. Inspect the speakers. These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable fallen ultras atop them. A small heat emboss on the veneer reads, Solidarity Aid from the People's Republic of Samara. The speakers themselves don't seem to display any magical qualities. No, no, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The man points to the footwear. The sneakers are the stars here. But I already looked at the sneakers. Then look at them again. They're premium lifestyle sneakers, officer. The best of the market. Can't I just buy the sad, conquered Samaran speakers? No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Lo-fi socialist junk. Aw, but lo-fi is an entire genre of music that I like. But that's why I want them. I think I might be lo-fi socialist junk myself. No, officer, you're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Lucky for you, I've got the best on sale. No, you don't. You don't want to make the best argument if you're going to be running a store like this. A place that looks like it's a mixture of like reclaimed or stolen or secondhand items. If I only accept the best, I wouldn't be here. You don't know what I am. I don't even know myself. I want the speakers. Well, if you want them, he pauses for a moment, calculating. But see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave the premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. If, on the other hand, you want to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw the speakers for a little extra 50 cents. Wow, they're nothing. Damn. So you have to buy the sneakers first. I can't... I just want a sound system, apparently. Unless I don't. I don't know. Can't I just get you a stool that I steal from somewhere? Or use my convincing skill to convince you of things? I'm good at convincing, right? There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box. A variety of shapes and colors.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
The vendor takes a pair of sunglasses and sticks them under your nose. Try them on? Abort! These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face. You can feel them pinching your nose and chafing against your brow. Damn, officer, you look like a mega secret spy. Very secret. The man nods eagerly. They're practically made for you. I'll let you have them for $2.50. It's going to be very difficult for anyone to take you seriously with these things on your face. No. The lieutenant gently removes the glasses from your face, setting you free again. You're definitely not buying those. Don't tell me what to do, Kim. You're right, I'm too sensible for those. Are you sure? But it looks so good on you. The street vendor frowns. You should think this through, officer. -1 logic, +1 electrochemistry. They're the dude glasses. What's in the box? These are all boring. Boring, third-rate, ho-hum sunglasses made from cheap Cerise plastic. The kind of plastic that melts in the sun. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV into your pupils. A UV magnifier. I wouldn't expect Drama to be the one to say that, but okay. Well, that's easy how you can check the exact result. These are all first-rate sunglasses, the man declares. Premium design, superb material, very cool, UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous police work. No. Formidable conceptualization. Try again. Maybe you can find some interesting sunglasses in this box. Oh my god, I'm so good at this. I keep winning 40% chances, which is improbable eventually. Well, it's technically improbable every time, but just not massively so. Ah, I see. A pair of water blue shades. The writing on the left temple says, Sub-Italic Rendezvous. The frame appears to be hand-carved out of the bone. Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture. For the first time, the street's vendor's voice trails off as he watches you inspect the glasses. Try them on. This is how a sea monster sees the world. You've become a sea monster, Harry. Giant, hidden, and strangely tender at heart. All is blue. Alright, but these are actually making your vision worse. It's like literally being underwater. Wow, officer, you look so cool. The street vendor has picked up his pace again. You observe the world through deep sea tinted lenses. And they could be yours for a mere $3. My regular customers have passed them all up because they've got no taste, but you found them. Hey Kim, what about these? The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back, his eyes narrowed in thorough examination. It's a case to him. You look like a musician, he declares. His eyes still squinted behind his own glasses, like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want. Inland Empire Point, like John Lennon glasses or something. It's all about the inside brain, but a loss of perception. But perception's my good stat, Inland is not. Gut feelings. My perception's already not amazing. Your ability to notice. This would take them both to a 3. Which technically could be interesting. Inland Empire is kind of an interesting stat, even if it's a little hard to tell what it is. The picture seems to be a galaxy brain. Yeah, it's a galaxy brain. That's funny. The shades of self-destruction and the sunglasses Sub-Italic Rendezvous. I don't know, I can kind of dig them. It's not a huge amount of money, at least. A man who knows his style. The street vendor nods. Much respect. He's just happy I finally bought something for the first time. That's a look. This seems to be a dead end. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a bridge here. Oh, that's the whole bridge. Oh, I'm completely locked in here unless I can get across. Oh, maybe you can get across that, but or maybe the bridge, they'll just let me through the bridge. I didn't realize how potentially like locked up we were. The truth is, you can't really see very well through the darkened specks, but you feel truly tender in this newly found deep sea plane. 2 blue-tinted lenses sit in a bone-carved frame, like they've always belonged there. Fingerless gloves, my +1 electrochemistry, cigarette-stained fingertips. Gasoline-stained fingerless gloves in navy blue. They've been worn threadbare, but being made of wool still provides some warmth and comfort. Sunglasses, -1 perception, sea monsters vision, +1 inland empire, sea monsters soul. I like the amount of personality going into item descriptions where they go so far into just explaining why these different stats come the way they are. Like, these heels are impractical for stealth, but these boots got steez for days. Water lock out of order until Wednesday, 7:15 a.m. Are people locked in this location on both sides? Wait, I can't interact with the phone booth. All it did was acknowledge that it existed, and then I can't go any further than that. Wow. This whole time we've been locked in. For all I know, I can't go any further until I progress the story. The man on waterlock. Hey. Is he holding a knife? Good day to you, officers. A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. Okay, oh, that's what that is. I'm like, that switchblade looks weird. I couldn't make sense of why it was shaped strangely, but it's because it's a salami. Carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock, and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them. First things first. What are you doing out here, man on the waterlock? My friend Barry the butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping him company and eating his salami. From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and gray overalls waving at you from across the canal. He seems disappointed about the wreckage on the waterlock and the salami. The man on the waterlock picks the skin off a slice of salami and takes a sizable bite. Very good stuff. Anything I can do for you, officer? Do you know what caused this wreckage? I wasn't here to witness it, but it looks like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Revachol. Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here. Especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then. Do you know what's further down the coast? Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it. He thinks for a moment. Yeah, not really much else, just bombed out ruins. Can I have some of the salami? Hey, I healed a little bit. Sure thing. He cuts off a piece of salami. Hey, I actually healed the other wound. Both of my wounds have been healed. Want some too, officer? He turns to the lieutenant. The lieutenant ponders the officer a moment. Then, ponders the offer for a moment, then decides to go for it. Why not? He takes a slice of salami from the man and chews on it. Well, right, bye. Well, he was nice enough. He gave us salami. Is this thing broken? Can I fix it with my cool skills? A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque. The panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed Samaran butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything. Pull the lever? You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact pins. You hear a soft clunk, then nothing happens. Push it harder? Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind blowing in from the sea interrupts the silence of the situation. The lieutenant hums to himself while staring at your activities. Release the lever. Close the waterlock on Wednesday. That's specific. Close the waterlock on Wednesday. It's Tuesday, right? Why does it say Wednesday? To get to the coast, you need to use the panel to close the waterlock. It's been blocked pending repairs, which should be done by Wednesday morning. This will open up a new area in Martinez. Huh. Because I almost magically managed to avoid this location for so long, I basically didn't even know that, like, I was trapped here this whole time. I saw that map sprawling out before me. I'm like, ooh, I wonder how off the rails I'll end up going in this playthrough or whatever. But turns out there's been one thing throttling me this whole time. You can't leave this opening area for the first 2 days. I think it might be time-based, though. Yeah. I think it's not necessarily based on story. I think it always is on Wednesday, regardless of how much story you finish, perhaps. Just something to throttle you a little bit. They figure you probably won't finish all this stuff before Wednesday around here. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal some other way. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning? Well, I suppose we wait. It's cool. I've got like 15 other objectives, right? Butter sign down. Oh god. A crumpled billboard reading Samaran butter soaks in the canal. Two ugly lines mar the bright countenance of the blonde boy depicted. Yeah, there's tracks on it. The sign billboard has fallen into the waterlock, keeping it open, and that's out of order. Let's try to reconstruct this. What happened here with my cool brain? What's Samaran butter? Whatever it is, the boy on the billboard seems very happy about it. Goat milk butter. The Samaran terrain makes it easier to raise goats than cows, and the local goat farmers produce high-quality meat and dairy staples that add variety to other nations' diets. It's an acquired taste. I like the perception then encyclopedia, then back to perception, like as a back and forth is the interaction. It's just really neat how they layered these conversations. Attempt to reconstruct what happened here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yay! I was gonna say, I keep doing the 40% chance thing, so I was worried that I was gonna do the 40% chance for failure this time. At least it's white check. So we have an idea of how the car went? How? So some car managed to drive off the roof, hit the sign in midair, and land on the other side of the road, apparently. But I don't know how this part happened. How'd they get on the roof in the first place? They hit... Is there a jump over here? I don't know. Judging by the size of the impact and parallel lines of burnt rubber, the cause was probably a motor vehicle. Look at the crater. Side slip marks indicate the vehicle is traveling up the crater at 35 kilometers per hour. The roof of the shack? Oh, is there a rock here? Is this a ramp that's like a natural ramp? It might be. The black marks on the roof indicate the vehicle vaulted from the crater to the roof of the shack. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it actually jumped? Ow. Huh. Hey, acceleration formula over here. Flashbacks to physics. Look at the sloping metal roof panel. The panel served as a takeoff ramp. A second takeoff ramp, kind of. The broken posts. The vehicle soaring through the air, hitting the billboard and upsetting the posts. Then it continued its flight, taking the billboard with it. Look at the sign. The sign broke the vehicle's fall into the canal. The Samaran Butter billboard still looks freshly painted, suggesting it took the plunge recently. How recently? Within the past 72 hours. Look at the opposite bank. Still speeding, the vehicle made a loop and vanished into the fog along the coast. What was the model of this phantom vehicle? There are two good candidates, the Capri 40 and the Linnea G22. Why the Capri 40? It's about the right size, and the tire marks look like they came from the skinny tires frequently found on that motor carriage. The Capri 40 is a very popular model with bank clerks, topping pie delivery drivers, secondary school teachers, cops, strippers dressed as cops, undressed strippers. Why the Linnea G22? Very sturdy, but light motor carriage. More likely than most to survive that jump. The Linnea G22 is not a particularly popular model due to its peculiar proportions, which the manufacturer's team probably thought of for about too long. What now? Now? You'd have to follow the tracks to be sure. Blink. Lieutenant looks on, waiting for you to wrap up your analysis. Ah, we can't have a conversation about it.
Any theories about what happened here?
He gazes down at the sign. Some top shelf shenanigans. I want to meet the driver and shake his hand. What kind of car do you think it was? It'd be so it's more likely to be a Capri because it's more likely to exist, but the G22 would be more convenient because it's rare. Easier to identify later. I believe it was Linnea G22. He seems impressed. That's quite likely, from what I can tell. I have some idea about who it might have been. He raises his eyebrows. Oh? It was someone dangerous. Perhaps this is somehow connected to the murder. The traffic hooliganism? I hope not. Fortunately, we're not traffic cops. Should we get back to the murder? Try to come up with a convincing explanation of the driver's actions. Fucking go for it. I believe in you. Somewhere in the depths of your alcohol-addled soul, you find a few threads that you can weave into a story. This could have only been Jacob Earl, the tip-top tourney champion. After the untimely death of dear friend? His friend is a deer? Of dear friend and fellow racer Alfie Delatraz, the Fjord Hammer, Jacob Earl was desperately chasing death on the racetrack, but death eluded him. The lieutenant patiently listens to the words coming from your mouth. I like that, yeah, patient is an accurate description of this character. After quitting in frustration, he became a recluse, a ghost driver, searching for death in the streets of Revachol, speeding. Jumping canals at night? He interrupts you. If I was Jacob Ear, I wouldn't drive matinees. These roads are awful. In conclusion, it's a colorful theory, but I don't believe Jacob Ero did this. Should we go? No, we need to find this Jacob Ero before tragedy strikes. He sighs, if we must. We've got to figure out who did it, even though I'm wrong about who did it. Seriously, which of you is the thing that's not been inspected? You keep saying I have a new thing in my inventory and I don't believe you. First you could find the vehicle the Joyrider was using in their escapades, which that's not going to come up for a while, because we need to be able to get across that canal, so... Let's see, booze... Most of these things don't matter too much. I can't call back till tomorrow. I do want to steal those boots. I'm trying to collect them all. I don't know who to ask about the tattoos. Alright. Well, I don't really want to deal with the racist anymore. So I'm going to take another look at the body to see if there's anything else I can do. That's our biggest objective. And I don't want to disappoint Kim by going another day without it being done. Why is this inspectable? Oh. All around you, rain falls in the great city of Revachol. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away. That's the most zoomed out we've ever seen. I can see Kuno fucking the corpse from here, as he puts it. The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting. What am I doing? Looking up at the sky. Cold water dripping from your hat. Wow, with this camera angle, you can see like the entire play area that we've seen. What do I see? Gray sky, like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another. Rain falls down on the world. How does it feel? Humid. Your coat shields you from the rain, while the city shivers around you. What's the west? Sheets of rain over the water. A flight of stairs leading into the ocean. Wave after wave washing the coast of Martinez, with its motorboats and gently swaying reeds. The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an inlet. Beyond the bay of Revachol, ghosts rise into the sky. Who are you, ghosts? The skyscrapers of La Delta, the financial district. Faint golden light seeps from the office windows. What's down the shore? Urban coastline. Rain dripping off eternite covered roofs. Cinder blocks left over from half-finished construction. A defunct research and development building once seized by revolutionaries. An old wooden church stands on stilts above the water. And beyond that, Coal City, and of all lines. Run your fingers through your dampened hair. Your hair is an oily mess flecked with ash from neighboring coal plants. Smokestacks rise somewhere in the distance. What's in the east? The great gates of the industrial harbor are locked. A chill runs down your back. You shudder like an animal trying to shake water from its hide. Shake your shoulders again. You shudder, looking down at your feet. Dirty rainwater runs veins into the plaza snow. Two green snakeskin shoes stand at attention on the mosaic paving of the plaza. What's in the north? Capeside apartments. Tower blocks crowd one another. 4.46mm bullets still lodged in the war-torn stone walls. Hallways collapse from the mortar hits of a wall that was lost long ago. Clotheslines go to waste in this rain. Radios play. The news at noon. And closer to here, a yard. Rain falls onto the roof of a woodshed. Coal leaks into a puddle beneath a dead man's feet. He swings from a tree, bloated. Droplets of rain slip from his cold cheeks. What's in the south? A traffic jam. Rain thrumming on the roofs of motor vehicles. Inside, drivers watch water streaming down their windshields. The statue of a king shudders. He too is cold. The canal bridge has been raised. What's on the other side? The road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of rooftops, woodwork, and tar stretches northward. 4-story buildings as far as the rain can fall. The snow melts in Jamrock. Where the hood at? I don't like this thought. Oh well. Where the hood at? At least I'm not saying it out loud. Have a brother in the cut. Where the wood at? I swear to God. Why am I not there? To be in Martinez, where no one goes, at the runoff point to a long-forgotten canal, in the widest part of town, in the shadow of the day the revolution failed. What am I doing here? Standing in the rain, looking north, where Jamrock Rock City stretches inland. Shudder, look further. In the rain-swept distance, above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands perched above the motorway exit. Precinct 41 hunches in the rain. Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes, making you look up and blink. What's above? Coalition aerostatics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover. Way up there, where rain forms, rotors flutter silently. Your sight clears. Coalition aerostatics. Curious about the aerostatics word. Aerostatics is the study of gases that are not in motion with respect to the coordinate system in which they are considered. If you switch to an image search for aerostatics, you get blimps and hot air balloons. There's coalition balloons up in the air. The direction we don't get to see. What's below? Collapsed storm drains. Old sewage systems flooded with rainwater. Hidden weapon caches from the revolution. Doors leading down to Le Royaume, the catacombs to which, for 3 centuries, they delivered the blue-blooded dead. Motherfucker. The rain will not let up anytime soon. At least we're dressed for it. Let's keep moving. I am dressed for it. Well, your shirt's still... Both of our shirts are open, which is a weird choice, but it's cool. It's cool. That was a hell of a zoom out.